okay, the Texas Real Estate Commission Standards of Practice says that I'm only supposed to identify, that's my minimum requirement, is to identify the water meter location. And here it is in the parkway between the sidewalk and the curb. Now, having said that, most home inspectors, including myself, like to do what's known as a meter test, is where we look at the dial and see if we can detect any water movement in the structure while everything is turned off. And that's just a courteous thing. It's very helpful information. And especially today, I wish I was getting that information, because we have a wet spot in the backyard that's unexplained as of yet. Okay, so I've identified where it is, but I haven't done a meter test. I've got 3 different, of course, with different options. Okay, none of these work, and I broke this one trying to make it work. So it was on its last leg. It had 2 different heads itself, and so that didn't work. Broke on us. I can't get it open. I just can't. So that's where our water meter is located. I wish I could do a water meter test for you. I'm also supposed to identify where the main water shutoff valve is. So we come over here, and in the flower bed on the west side of the front portico, alright, we have an irrigation box that I'm assuming is for the main water shutoff valve. It's been completely, if there is one there and I don't know that, it's been completely covered. And that should be excavated, so if there's a valve in there, we could service it, we could operate it, we could use it. Right now we don't have a valve. And until I see one, we don't have a valve. So another thing we're supposed to do is check the water pressure. Now we're supposed to actually check the pressure, so that's a thing. And our stem is leaking. We're leaking all kinds of water here. And it still shows us doing 90 psi. We're not supposed to have more than 80 psi. So even though we're losing a little bit of pressure here, we got 90 psi. You're supposed to let that sit for a little bit. So we'll let it sit for a little bit. These are your main sewer cleanouts. It's a double cleanout. This one goes that direction, this one goes this direction on the same pipe, so you don't have a dead spot in here. So when you put the auger in, the snake, the rotor-rooter, call it what you will, it'll go past this one and into the house and clear your line. But this one goes past this one into the yard and clear your line. So that's your double cleanout valve. Okay, good to know. Good to know. Then we come over here. This is our lawn sprinkler irrigation system, and I have a receiver, but I don't find a sensor. I cannot locate a sensor. Our zones, we don't have a care and use manual. Our zones are not labeled. I can usually get in here and figure out how to work it, so it's not my first one to look at. But we should have instructions. We should have a register showing us where all the zones are, and it would really be nice if you even had a map. So, but that's not required. So coming on over here. Now this is the check valve for the lawn sprinkler irrigation system. One thing we don't have, and it wasn't required, is a main shutoff valve to the system. It used to be just these 2 isolation valves, all that was required. But we do not have a shutoff valve. This valve does not belong in the parkway. Okay? You can get a fine for not mowing this or mistreating it or whatever, but this doesn't belong to you. This is the parkway. This belongs on your property on the other side of the walkway, on the other side of the sidewalk. That's where that belongs, over there. It does not belong over here. Another thing is this box, like the other box, should be excavated and lined with gravel so that you can get your hands around it. And also these isolation valves, you see how rusty they are? Parallel is on, perpendicular is off. You see how rusty they are? Okay, those are going to break off in your hand if you try to use them. And a broken handle, a rusty handle like that, there is no alternative. I mean, it's just time for replacement. It's time for service and replacement. So what did we learn? We learned we couldn't get into the meter. We learned that we got 90 psi. We learned that the check valve is on the wrong side of the sidewalk, and it's got rusty handles. We don't have a main handle. Boxes need to be irrigated. Do not have our zones labeled. Do not have a care and use manual for our sprinkler system. We're going to come back over here and see how it's doing. See if it's still doing okay for us. And there it is. It's still 90 psi.